questions for Coach?
You only played 8 in the first half. Is the rotation trend, or is it just game flow?
Yeah, I plan on getting Jared out there. That's why he was the first sub in the second half. They played big a lot, and they more matched us. And I thought Frager really had it going there in the first half. So it was more just flow of the game. But yeah, Jared, I thought gave us really good minutes. I gave him a lot of credit in the post game locker room. Just getting 6 defensive rebounds for us. I thought he was a key part of that run that we made in the second half. And we're going to need his physicality. It was good to see him raise up and knock down that shot right away when it came to him. And it was great to get those guys valuable minutes and experience. And, with the tight turnaround, having to come back and play on Tuesday against a team that took Georgia Tech to overtime, it was nice to get our guys a little bit of extended rest. I'm glad Rienk finally got the triple-double. I thought he was going to turn it over 10 times before he was working his way towards a quadruple-double. So it was good to see Frager, get the play at the rim. It was a great cut. And Rienk was, obviously just phenomenal all game long, and, third player in program history to get a triple-double. It's a hell of an accomplishment.
How much was this just like the next step in Rienk's progression up? He's talked a lot about getting his timing back. How much was this just the effect of him being back and getting more reps?
Well, I thought our guys did a really good job getting the ball to Rienk in the pocket, and they were blitzing our pick and roll, and we ran a little step-up action. They were pre-rotating to it a few times, but I thought our guys made good reads on the backside. We got a slash. We got Kale in open 3 on one of them. We got Braden in open 3 on another action. So I thought our guys really followed the game plan, and we were 15 assists to 3 turnovers at halftime. Got a little loose with it there at the end, but 29 assists. That's a pretty darn good number. And Rienk's the catalyst. He's the guy out there making plays. It's fun to see Pryce get it going the way that he did with that little stretch that he had to open up the second half that took the lead up to 30 plus. So just a really good game. That was one I had a lot of anxiety going into just because of their size, their length, their athleticism. It was good to see our guys go out and handle business.
What was the biggest reason for Pryce's night today?
Well, it was just a matter of time before he had one like this, and the way they converge on the ball, the big message to our team was make simple plays. Don't over-penetrate. Sam did it one early where he tried to cross over. If you do that, they're going to get it. They're going to take it from you. Once we calmed down and, took one dribble, made the pass, hit the single, Pryce benefited from it. Sam had a nice steal, to get him a 3. Pryce's coast-to-coast play at the basket. So, he just did a little bit of everything, but, our guys did a great job finding him.
How do you think you guys just handled their physicality and playing?
Yeah, I thought for the most part, like I said at the end, we really struggled to get a rebound. We struggled to get into our offense. Once we did and got a little double drag to get pressure release type action, it was good to see Leo get a couple plays inside, and Kendall make some plays off the bounce as well. And I think what today showed was the versatility of our lineup. When you got 5 guys, when they trap, if you can get it out of that trap and take it down, you're going to play with numbers on the back end. And if you got guys that can handle it and dribble it and shoot it, you're going to be able to hopefully make teams pay when they play that type of style where they bring 2 to the ball. But, for the most part, I thought our guys made the right play pretty much all game for all 40 minutes.
Rienk talked about Jamarques and how he talked about pushing the pace, especially early. How important do you think Jamarques was being aggressive and helping you guys start a little quicker?
Yeah, Jamarques, he's been terrific. I mean, you look at the 2 exhibitions, you look at what he did in the opener with the way he knocked down shots. I mean, go back to that BYU game where he was, even though he didn't shoot it well, he was the difference. His pace was unbelievable. The other thing with a press team, you don't want to let them get set up in their press. So we wanted to get the ball in quickly. And, Jamarques cut the court on a few of those and got the ball up. And, again, we played with numbers on the backside. I thought our spacing was really good as well. And then when you got a big guy like Rienk and Burkett was unbelievable today as well. So, again, it's good to have full team wins like this when everybody on the floor, makes a contribution. So, again, the versatility of our lineup is, I think that is shown here in the first couple of games.
One guy was Sam led the team plus 34. Didn't score.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big impact.
Yeah, I mean, Sam makes those 2 layups. We're at 100 here. So, but he's made big plays in the first 2 games. I thought he was the catalyst that got us going in the second half against West Georgia, And then tonight, I think it was 6 assists and 1 turnover. And, like you said, Mike, the plus 34, that's making an impact when the ball's not going in the basket. And, it's kind of what Sam has done in his career. He's just made winning plays. And it was, I think he and Jamarques have a nice little chemistry out there. Kale was really good again. And, again, I really do like the IQ of this basketball team. And if we can keep making the right play, we have a chance to have a really good year.
Rienk said that, his entire days like this made the entire year away from basketball worth it. Just how fulfilling is it maybe for the entire coaching staff, a decision like that, to see it really paying dividends for a player like him?
Yeah, I'm just really happy for him. That was a hard year for Rienk. I mean, that surgery, you have to be so diligent in your recovery, and there's nobody more disciplined than Rienk when it comes to, following the rule, and that's exactly what he did. And, that's why he's having the type of impact that he's having right now. And, for a guy that didn't play for 12 months, I don't know if you realize how hard that is to get the timing back in a real game environment. I mean, he goes out and he hits 7 for 8 from 3 in his first time back on a court against another opponent. That just shows his maturity. So, more than anything, yeah, it's fun for us because he's back on the floor. I'll say that from a coaching perspective. But I'm just really happy for him. I'm proud of him, for all the work that he put in and how that's paying off and how good it's going to be for his future.
Braden shot it pretty well to start his career. What did you like about him, though, hanging out in the dunker spot?
Yeah, it was good. And again, that was part of the short pick and roll, package that we had going into this game. When you draw 2 to the ball, if you can get that thing to Rienk, you got 2 shooters in the corners, and you got Braden down in the dunker, where he's a very good finisher. So yeah, he's played his role very well so far, and he missed a dunk out there too tonight. So listen, one thing I've never had to worry about Braden is confidence. That kid walks into the gym, as a confident player, whether he's made his last 10 or missed his last 10. And that's a great quality to have.
Coach.
Thanks, guys.